Okay, everyone, how are you doing? Good evening. I hope you're doing really, really well. Just some quick news here. Have you guys heard about this interview that Judge Scott McAfee, I don't know if a lot of you guys know this or not, but McAfee is actually a 34-year-old millennial. I mean, I find that very surprising. Am I the only one? Let me know in the comments. 34 years old. I mean, he looks a lot older than that. I know, the hair thing is kind of a thing, but and I feel bad for, Scott. But wow, I thought he was a lot older than 34. That's for sure. He gave this interview last week on WSB. I actually listened to it. And I think I talked about it on the live last week. And he was kind of discussing this challenger that he's going to face here in Atlanta for his reelection. A lot of people think that his reelection campaign, and he's kind of a rookie judge, kind of a green newbie, if you will. Although I did think he was quite impressive the second week. I thought the first week, Fani Cash Money G definitely took over the courtroom, and he did not do a good job of asserting order. But I think he did a lot better job on the second week. I'd love to hear from you on that too. But it's also his first campaign for re-election coming up in May. I've talked about that in previous videos. So he was on the radio show, and he was talking about his challenger for his re-election bid. And obviously the question came up when it came to talks on Fani Willis. And when is he going to come up? I was actually... To be honest with you, I was very, very surprised given the magnitude of this case, and maybe this is a rookie mistake, I don't know. Given the magnitude of this case, given the attention that this case garners, I was really surprised that he would give a radio interview. I mean, I don't know if that really kind of exhibiting professional decorum or propriety. I'm not sure, but why would you do a radio show like a week before you're about to give one of the biggest decisions, not only in your career, but in the United States history, when in regards to a very serious charge against a former president? So I don't know. It's really, really interesting to me why he would do this. But anyway, he went on the radio and he spoke briefly about his pending order on whether or not to remove Fani Willis, Cash Money G. Willis, from prosecuting Trump and the co-defendants. And this is what he said. He said, "I gave myself a deadline because I knew everyone wanted an answer. And I'll tell you that an order like this takes time to write." Okay. How long does it take, though, Judge McAfee? He says here, "There's a lot I have to go through. And so I have had," and again, I'll emphasize this, "I've had a rough draft in an outline before I ever heard a rumor that someone wanted to run for this position. So the result is not going to change because of politics." So the reason he's saying that is that there's been a lot of speculation, even from myself and other media personalities, channels, mainstream media, etc. There's been a lot of speculation that McAfee's decision is going to be contingent upon his re-election bid coming up in May. And he also has this brutal challenger who is about as far left as you can imagine. He's in Fani's corner. There's been a lot of tweets of his and social media posts of his that have been collected by media and media personalities showing and demonstrating he definitely has it in for Trump, which should probably create a conflict of interest if Scott McAfee does not win re-election and he's taken off this case. And maybe, I think it's Judge Pinto is going to be on the case. That's a possibility if he loses. I think he should definitely be recused, given the fact that his history of slander against Trump and slander against Republicans and conservatives is evident and highly, highly publicized. And so I'd be surprised if that guy wasn't recused. But the reason he's saying this, that the result of his decision is not going to change because of politics, is because of this re-election bid, is because he's facing a brand new challenger. He's rookie, he's green, he's never even done a re-election campaign before. So he could lose very easily, no matter what his decision is on the Fani Willis disqualification hearing. So he goes on to say, I'm calling it as best as I can and the law as I understand it. So I still feel like I'm on track to have that done by the deadline that I put on myself. Well, it's already Tuesday, Judge McAfee. It's March 12th. You said 2 weeks over a week and a half ago. Tomorrow's Wednesday. When are we going to, we don't even, there's no, as of this recording, okay, I'm recording this Tuesday evening, March 12th. And you're going to be seeing this hopefully Tuesday evening, if not Wednesday morning. There is literally zero inkling that McAfee is going to make a ruling. There is zero inkling if he's going to reopen the case and allow new testimony. There is zero information. There's zero, updates. And so we don't know anything. So it's getting late. But he says here in this interview that he gave with WSB radio, he says he's still on track to having that done by the deadline. McAfee told the court at the end of the Willis disqualification hearings that he would take at least 2 weeks to decide. Yeah, that's exactly what he said. Trump and others in the case are seeking to disqualify Willis after accusing her of financially benefiting, right? This is really interesting. During the 8-minute audio clip from the Shelley Winter show, McAfee talked about how the case has impacted him personally, saying he looks forward to the day he can speak with his toddler-age children about his experience presiding over this historic case. What I think about is I got 2 kids, 5 and 3. They are too young to have any idea what's going on or what I do, the judge says. But I'm looking forward to one day, is maybe they grow up a little bit and ask me about it. And I'm looking forward to looking them in the eye and tell them I played it straight and I did the best I could. Okay, so McAfee is saying that he's still on track. He's still going to get everything, the ruling out. Hopefully by this week would be the deadline. And it sounds like McAfee is really trying to embody the integrity that we hope these types of decisions are made on, that we hope the justice system is built upon, that the infrastructure around the justice system is something that bolsters and upholds the kind of outcomes that we hope. Lady Justice is always supposed to be blind, is always supposed to be impartial. We know Fani Willis is definitely not impartial. She's definitely not blind. She's definitely got her money on the cash on the money on the mind on my money. We know that. So it's up to McAfee. This is it. And I've got the latest, the greatest. You got to stay tuned with here, Nez Nation. Yours truly, Professor Nez. I'm always going to keep you up to speed. I'm always going to keep you up to date. We're going to go live as soon as the ruling comes out. You don't want to miss that. But I'd love to hear from you. I'll throw it over to you guys, Nez Nation. What do you think about this this latest statement and this interview that Judge McAfee, who is presiding over the Fani Willis disqualification case, this latest interview and what he says about holding steadfast to this deadline? I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think the outcome is going to be? What do you think he's going to say? When do you think he's going to do it? Do you think he's going to reopen the case? Do you think he's just going to come up with a ruling? What are your thoughts? This interview was done last week. A lot has happened since last week. A lot of filings have been issued. A lot of new testimony have come out. Yeager for one, Aurora for one. We've talked about this. I'd love to hear from you, Nez Nation. Let me know. I try really hard to respond to all the comments. But you know that members get first dibs, super chat, super thanks get first priority. Really appreciate all you guys for donating and supporting the channel. It all goes back into the channel so I can keep creating free content. As always, if you've made it this far, make sure you become a Nez Nation Insider. That is our free newsletter. It's in the pinned comment. Link is in the pinned comment. You open up that link, click on free newsletter, put in your best email, and bada boom, bada bing, you're in. And so I'd really appreciate it if you become a subscriber to our free newsletter. Obviously, subscribe to the channel, follow the channel. We want to hear from you. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right now. You don't want to miss out on those. Were posted today. Make sure you check those out. Stay tuned. I'm going to keep you updated. God bless you, Nez Nation, your family. God bless these United States of America, and I'll see you soon.